You do everything. Tell me when, Sal. Good evening and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Zoning Board of Adjustment of the Township of Union, which is being held pursuant to the Open Public Meeting Law C-231, Laws of New Jersey, dated 1975. Notice of this meeting was advertised in the local source as well as the Star Ledger, the newspapers of record, and notice has been posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building adjacent to the municipal clerk's office. Roll call.
Mr. Ventavegana is absent. Mr. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. Wiley.
Here.
Ms. Alexander.
Here.
Ms. Martins.
Here.
Ms. Scott.
Here.
Mr. McNeil.
Here.
Mr. Graves.
Here.
And Mr. Champion.
Here. There being a quorum present, this meeting is now declared open. At this time, I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes from March the 1st and April the 5th, 2023. May I have a motion and a second?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the minutes of March 1st and April 5th, 2023 be approved as written and dispensed with their reading.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
Mr. Chairman, let the record show that I was absent.
Thank you, Mr. Wiley. Mr. Manguso, are there any communications?
There are no communications, Mr. Chairman.
Hearing none, our first order of business this evening is calendar number 3415, Muriel Jean-Pierre, located at 928 Arnett Avenue, Block 501, Lot 34, and it's for a driveway expansion. Would the applicant or a witness like to come forward at this time?
Good evening. Can you hear me? I'm Rob Pansul, the board attorney.
Yeah, I hear you.
Can I ask you to raise your right hand and swear or affirm that the testimony you can provide this evening is the truth and the whole truth?
Yes.
For the record, if you could state and spell your name.
Murat, M-U-R-A-T, Jean-Pierre, Jeanpierre.
And you are the property owner?
Yes.
And you filed the application this evening, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. You could put your hand down now. Just in your own words, give the board the benefit of an explanation of why you're here for the variance relief.
I'm here because I received a letter from American Home. To be here, so.
I marked what you submitted, the application with the photographs, A1, so that's, the board has all that information. It's part of the record.
Okay.
There's photographs included. Did you take those photographs that are part of the
No.
materials? Somebody helped you with that?
Take the picture. You
Somebody helped you do the application?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any witnesses tonight?
No. Oh, yeah.
Who's here on your behalf? You authorize him
Mr.
to
Mike.
speak on your behalf?
Yes.
Okay, have him come up and then,
All right.
can I ask you to raise your right hand and swear or affirm that the testimony you provide this evening is the truth and the whole truth?
Yes, I do.
If you could state and spell your name for the record.
Michael J. Marcello, that's M-I-C-H-A-E-L, J and M-A-R-S-E-L-L-O.
And what's your affiliation with the applicant? You put your hand down.
I work for the American Home Remodeling, the contracting company. I'm working there for almost 10 years. I do a lot of the expediting, most of the expediting for permits, and occasionally, when we have to, I come to support our client in variances like this. Now, one individual's missing, who's a project manager, but we worked hand in hand on this, so I'm pretty familiar with the whole situation, so.
Okay, explain for the board if you could. I referenced the photographs, and it
Right.
looks like there's some correspondence from American Home Remodeling. That's your company, correct?
That's correct.
And that's you, Michael?
J.
Marcello?
Right.
Yeah, so I have that as part of the record.
As far as I recall, and the project manager, if he was here, he'd give more detail, but what we did was, we paved over, we removed an existing driveway, and then we put pavers in the same exact location, taking up the same square footage as the driveway. But for some reason, because there were pavers, we were called upon to justify what we've done. I think there's some rule about the parking capacity and things of that nature that raise an issue in the zoning department. And then we said, okay, we'll address that. And what we've done, we took pictures before and after of what was there. And they're in the folder that should be here with my colleague, Mark Molan, who's the project manager, but he's not. But I have all this in my mind. So the documents and the photos will clearly show that the area in question was concrete. We removed it and just put pavers down. But ensuing questions arose, so we had to address it in the variance, and this is why we're here tonight.
The
So that's-
standard, just so you know, for the record, and you helped fill out the application, is 18 feet.
Yes.
Ultimately, the driveway width with the pavers, and maybe before too, that's what we're determining tonight,
Right.
is 22 feet.
22, we were over by so much, I
Right.
believe.
But it's your testimony that the pavers, in essence, replaced what existed.
That's what I believe we've done.
And the before and after photo that you show, you actually, your company arranged to take that photo, so you're familiar
I believe so,
with
if
it?
I can see the photo. I also recall, if I'm not mistaken, that the original dimensions were fine, but sometime thereafter, they were reduced from 22 to 18. I could be wrong on that, but I believe there was some bearing on it. I'm not sure.
Well, I'm looking at the photos, the last two pages, the before and after seems pretty effective,
Okay,
that what you put the pavers, seems to cover the area that was once asphalt.
that's correct. Right.
With the curbing, I guess there's somewhat of a raised
Yes.
curbing on the
That's-
right side.
And that's simply our case, that we didn't add or do anything else to that particular property, just put pavers over the area.
And when did you get notice of this violation? Was it after you had performed the work?
I believe so.
Okay, so you really had no idea that there was any issue?
No.
And
no.
you've done this in other areas, in other places, not just in Union, perhaps statewide?
Yes, we put pavers in different towns, and what throws us a little curve is sometimes it impacts the imperious soil issue, and sometimes it doesn't. Each town has its own rules about that. But in this case, since it was asphalt in the same location, we felt that was like a moot point. It wouldn't be a factor.
Are these efforts that you typically need to get permits for, or you just do the replacement straight up? Do you?
That depends, too, on the different towns. Some towns do require permits for pavers.
Okay.
Some may not. So I've been doing this a while, so I do
Well,
know.
for the record, the Township of Union does require a zoning permit regardless.
Okay.
Not for the pavers, just for a zoning permit.
Yes, we did fill one out, I think.
Yes,
after the-
I have it.
Okay, good.
It's here. It was denied.
Well, that's
That's
how
why
we,
you're here.
that's how it came to
Okay,
realize
right,
that
right.
we needed the variance, just so you understand. And the owner, just if you could, you understand too, we're talking through your witness. You understand what we're discussing here at this? Okay. And you authorized him to speak on your behalf and do the work, correct? Okay. When did you actually buy the property?
When did I buy it? 2004.
2004. And when you bought it, was it as depicted in the photo that we see before with the asphalt driveway?
This time exact.
Always the way, okay. And it's single-family house, that's what's there?
Yes.
You live there or rent it? You live there?
I live there with my
And your intention is to continue to live there and use it as single-family residential?
yes.
This process is to make sure the town, the board will consider the relief, and then it becomes a formal part of your building department record. So it helps you, it helps the town, not just now, 5, 10 years from now, if somebody goes to buy the house, you go to sell the house, you don't have to say, whoa, you got a problem here, the driveway's too wide, you know. So that's part of why we're here tonight.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, I don't know,
Are
Mr.
there any-
Manguso, if you have any other questions. Do you have anything else to add, sir, as the witness, or anything you want to tell us?
I don't know, I'm satisfied, I think the understanding's clear. I just wish my colleague was here, because he did a lot of the work.
Yeah, well, we
Honest.
see the picture says 1,000 words. I mean, I don't vote, I'm the attorney, but
I understand.
I could say the picture definitely looks terrific in terms of the final result, in my opinion. I mean, the board obviously
Well,
can
thank you.
react and ask any questions that it has.
Well, let him go through his.
I have no other questions.
At this time, are there any board members that would like to question Mr. Marcello or Mr. Jean-Pierre?
I do have just one question. Was there ever any measurements taken before?
Before we started the job? I can't answer that for myself. I don't know. Sometimes we usually do that, sometimes we don't. We just go with what's there, and we say, existing dimensions. And I always tell my guys to make sure you put numbers to those things, because I'm the one that gets the heat from the building department when it's not clear about what are the existing dimensions. But I didn't do the job. Mark was on, he was the project manager.
Yeah, the only reason I ask is because I'm looking at a plot plan, and it shows that it's 22 feet from the corner of the building to some point, which is the property line. So if somebody tagged it at 22 feet, it's saying 21.76 right now on the plot plan. So you didn't change anything. I just wanted to know if you confirmed.
We didn't change, our approach was not to change any dimensions, just to put pavers where there was either concrete or asphalt.
Are there any other board members that would like to question Mr. Marcello or Mr. Jean-Pierre? Hearing none, are there any members of the public that would like to question Mr. Marcello or Mr. Jean-Pierre?
That's it.
Hearing none, I believe at this time we can conference this. Ms. Martins, would you like to begin?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think this is a very straightforward application. I will be voting yes tonight.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I believe that, as the site plan shows, originally it was 22 feet, and I think it's a vast improvement, and I would definitely vote yes.
Mr. McNeil?
I would agree with my colleagues, it's a simple application, plan showed it 22 feet. I will intend to vote yes.
Mr. Graves?
Looking at both pictures, it's a great improvement. I will be voting yes.
Mr. Wiley?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have no problem with this application whatsoever. It's a great improvement to the property, and I'm going to vote yes.
Ms. Scott?
I concur with my colleagues. The picture actually looks very nice of the driveway, so great job. Thank you. I'll be voting yes.
And Ms. Alexander?
I too will be voting yes. The property just looks very, very nice, and I'll be voting yes with my colleagues.
As for myself, I really don't have any comments. I'm familiar with Arnett Avenue. I've had acquaintances live on that street, and he did a wonderful job with that house. From the siding to the pavers, everything looks great. So I too will vote yes.
Thank you.
At this time, may I have a motion and a second to grant the application?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the board grant the variance applicable to this application, and that council is directed to prepare a resolution consistent with the board's decision.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Wiley,
Yes.
Ms. Alexander,
Yes.
Ms. Martins,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Scott,
Yes.
Mr. McNeil,
Yes.
and Mr. Champy.
Yes.
On May 17th, the board will pass a resolution memorializing that, and then that will become a part of your building department files, I imagine with a final inspection, just to assure the details, as Mr. McNeil had indicated.
And we'll go into your record.
Formal.
Formal.
Thank you.
May I ask a question? Sure. By memorializing it, that goes into your formal records. Does our client get a formal letter to that effect or not?
It'll be part, they'll get a copy of the resolution,
Okay.
and he'll have that, and it'll always be a part of the building department files. So if he goes to sell someday, when they get some kind of certificate that's required to transfer title, they'll be able to, his office, Mr.
legal.
Manguso's office will certify.
Okay. I
Sir.
will receive a letter from, on the mail?
You'll get the copy of the resolution sometime after May 17th is when it'll be passed, the next month.
Thank you.
Okay. Good luck.
Thanks.
Good job.
May I have a motion and a second to adjourn?
Mr. Chairman, there being no further business coming before this board, I move that we adjourn.
Se-
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved.